The following podcast contains strong language and ridiculous cartoon scenarios conjured up by two self-proclaimed comedy wizards. Between you and me, they're more like Saturday morning court jesters fueled by sugary cereal. But either way, the opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their well-intentioned hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Unless, of course, you want to pay them to say something else. Could always use a new pair of shoes.
Everybody, and welcome to ReviewParty.com. I'm Brent.
I'm Matt.
Podcast, internet, genre, comedy, content, reviews. That's the podcast in a nutshell. We gotta say it at the beginning of the episode, or the podcast police will gun you down.
Good.
Not us. Not us. Yeah. They know we don't care about our lives as comedians.
True.
But we do care about all of you.
Yeah, stay well. Goodness.
People will scoff at you if you have a spring cold, but I say, hey, you know, I had the itchiest eyes the other day, man. I could not. No amount of painful rubbing or rapid blinking would get rid of the itch. And I'm not an allergies guy. I thought I was dying.
That sounds uncomfortable. You just take a shower, go to sleep, try again tomorrow.
It's like, man, my eyes are itchy. Might as well put... I want to close the book on today. All right, we'll wrap it up. We'll give her a shot again tomorrow. I have this review. I was going to read it the other week, but then I didn't have time. It is from IMDb. It is a review of the television show, which ran from 1994 to 1997, called Street Sharks. That's right. The Jawsome Boys themselves. The sharks on the street. Do you have a relationship with this show, Matt?
Not much, I'm sorry to say, other than thinking they're pretty cool.
Right. I had a few toys. I had a few VHSs, you know. I haven't rewatched the entire collection recently, but maybe I'm due. I have a feeling that I'll be fine without it. But don't take it from me. Take it from Coles_Notes. They title their review Bad. They write, created after the also massively successful Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Street Sharks tries to follow the same formula of anthropomorphic crime fighters, this time sharks, with badass street tough attitudes. They fight bad guys, particularly the evil Dr. Piranoid half-man piranha villain. They drive and fly cool vehicles, and most importantly, sell cool toys. There is no real overarching plot. New sharks and enemies are introduced over the course of the series, but nothing really matters, and the plots are very expected for this style of show. The characters all seem to accept that they're going to be grotesque, muscular half-sharks for the rest of their lives willingly. The only thing they care about is beating up bad guys. And that's cool. That's all they were really needed for. Street Sharks, 3 stars.
I feel like that there's value in having very little plot and just having that cool appeal, especially for a kid.
Definitely. Sometimes, you know, you can't be sitting around reading Shakespeare all hours of the day. You need some junk food coming into the brain.
Yeah. Saturday morning, what do you pop on the TV and learn about the Holocaust? I don't.
No, you want to chillax. You want to have a radical start to your weekend, don't you?
I want the episode to end with the goofy shark shrugging his shoulders.
Freeze frame, wicked guitar solo.
Like, they're going to forget everything that happened this week next week. Because yes, none of it matters.
None of it matters. That's the beauty of the Monster of the Week. I always felt it's a real feeling of, like, there's a lot more going on in these guys' lives than just the episode, but we don't really care. We just want to see this particular monster. Today, a cool adventure happened, and oh boy, we get to be alongside the sharks in their street.
I will say, I was a Mighty Ducks watcher.
Yes.
I watched Gargoyles as well. I don't remember as much of it, though.
I've heard Gargoyles is, of the genre, a standout. Was pretty good. Stands up.
Yeah, and maybe it was too heavy for me.
Yeah, I
But-
kind of remember it being a little dark and dry as a kid, but I'm not hating it.
But I liked the intrigue that those Mighty Ducks not only played hockey, but then they also went to fight crime.
Yep, their lair was underneath the rink, I recall.
Yeah.
Were the other teams also anthropomorphic beasts? That I don't recall.
It's because they're not cool enough to remember.
Right. Who cares about them? I do remember there was the huge goalie duck. I had a cool toy of him. There was the skinny sort of skater guy duck, who I think he was like the offensive dude. He was cool too. I think he had a backwards hat. I thought that was pretty sick. Pretty of the time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching. I rewatched the '90s X-Men very recently. I'm sure I've rambled about it before. Take any excuse to talk about X-Men I can, but it's shocking to me because it's a Monster of the Week show. But I know for a fact that they didn't know it was going to be successful, and so these writers tried to adapt as many of their favorite stories into week or 2 week stories as they could. Right. So, it's episode 4. We're week 4, and Apocalypse is showing up and gathering the 4 horsemen. The endgame bad guy of endgame bad guys is reduced to a monster of the week. And it's both causes whiplash, like, holy shit, we don't even know, like, Beast's backstory yet, and there's fucking Apocalypse. But it's also wicked because of that. It's also like, yeah.
It's just off the rails from the get-go.
Right. You don't know what, when you start an episode, what kind of crazy adventure your favorite cast of goons are going to get up to. You don't know you don't know if they're going to be fighting aliens from another planet sent down to kill Earthlings. You don't know if Wolverine's going to be going undercover with some neo-Nazis and calling a bunch of dudes bigots in a cartoon from 1994. That's sort of the appeal. And street sharks, they're all big and have big teeth and are wicked. And there's one with roller skates.
They swim in the streets.
They swim in the streets. There's the Wildberry Pop-Tart colored one also has rollerblades.
That's enough for me. As we said at the beginning, we don't need everything to be heavy content. Sometimes you need to indulge in a little fluff. Sometimes you need a little Guy Fieri in your life.
Frame 2 of the theme song, there is a shark man with a Wildberry Pop-Tart color scheme who is riding roller skates around and fighting crime. I'm there, dude. I'm there. I just want to hang out in that. You know what I mean?
I will pop on the couch and chill.
Yeah, that is straight. Chilling with some sugary cereal. You're feeding your brain. Your brain needs to process some garbage every now and then. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to process smart stuff. You'll go crazy. Sometimes you got to see a shark do a inline skating backflip and punch a bad guy in the face and go, "Whoa, that was jawsome." Matt, do you have a jawsome review for us?
I think I got a jawsome review as long as we're talking about, well, we mentioned sugary cereal, so that's breakfast adjacent. It's good enough for me. I got a Google review for Southern Cafe - the Nasty Biscuit. And we're back in St. Charles, Illinois here. This is... I've been doing a lot of theater down in this area, and one theater that I've worked at is next to a place called the Tasty Biscuit. And then literally like 2 miles down the road is Southern Cafe - the Nasty Biscuit. And just seeing the Nasty Biscuit on a building,
right,
tickled me far more than it should.
They can't know. Someone's
they
had to tell them.
They have to know. I wonder if it is intentional, if there is like strife and all sorts of controversy.
If they know, I have nothing but respect. Pounds and pounds of respect for the owners.
Well, we'll see if we can change that. This is a Google review from Dimple Patel. She has an update in it So I'm going to read the original comments, which she helpfully highlights with all caps. Original comments. Nasty. Fake eggs and nothing had taste. Their house hash browns were disgusting and made everything soggy. Everything lacked flavor. I asked if I could have my eggs prepared with fresh eggs versus out of the carton. I am willing to pay for them as well. Owner said no. It's a Tuesday and 9:30 a.m. Only customer here, and she said it's against policy. And if she does it for me, she may have to do it for all customers, and that's not possible. She can't risk me coming back and asking for my eggs the same way. How ridiculous. I'm willing to pay, and she's refusing. I know I won't be coming back. Many other more delicious places in St. Charles that offer fresh and quality food. We have a response from the owner.
Let's go. They better. Tell her how it is.
Hello, Karen. I can guarantee every breakfast restaurant does this. When you are serving 1,000 people in a day, it cannot possibly be done. And there's absolutely no difference. You are not the only one that has ever eaten egg whites. You are mad because you couldn't get what you want. What you don't know is that every place you go to asking for fresh egg whites gives it to you out of the carton. You just don't know it. We were being truthful and you didn't like it. You know something else we don't allow? Bringing your own coffee while dining at our table. Who does that? Only entitled people. And thank you for deciding to go elsewhere from now on. So, obviously, Dimple got that and updated their review.
Yeah, she couldn't just leave them with the
Can't
final
let that
word.
slide. Update. Goes to show how unprofessional the owners are by calling me Karen. For the record, there are many respectable brunch places that serve fresh eggs because people know the difference between fresh and carton. I was one of 2 customers at that time and was gladly open to paying for the price of fresh eggs. Sad to know that you rather force feed people eggs that aren't fresh versus feeding them fresh eggs when they're willing to pay, especially since you were extremely slow that day. For you to make the comments below just shows how unprofessional you are and that you do not care for your customers or the quality of food you serve. I'm happy to take my business elsewhere 1 star.
It ain't about professionalism at this point, Karen. No one gives a shit, all right? At a certain point, we as adults have to recognize that professionalism is a facade, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a mask we put on.
It's a mask so you can
take part in the masquerade dance.
So you can tell people things that are impolite and have them think it's polite. That's all professionalism is. Tell things people they don't want to hear, but they can't say anything back because you were professional. but yeah, I really don't understand, and I see it all the time as a retail warrior.
Uh-huh.
People think, privileged, entitled people think that they can do whatever they want. They can use the exits as an entrance.
Oh.
You know, they can get change even though no one else can get change here. Yeah, all that type of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because it's me. What's the big deal if you make an exception for me? Well, it's not just about you. There are a million other people in the world, and
Yep.
when you make a business, you know, it offers certain things and sometimes it doesn't. And as a woman who I'm sure supports a capitalist society, you have to vote with your dollar. Not by acting like an entitled jerk on a freaking Yelp review or where was this?
Google.
The old Google. Of course, I could smell it. It's a Karen paradise. It's weird that my image of an average Yelp reviewer is so much more youthful, and I don't think that's anything that Yelp has done. It's just that my image of like a Google reviewer is absolutely...
Yeah, it seems just a few steps closer to you than the average. What's the I can't even think of the maps.
Oh, it's yeah.
I'm drawing a blank. MapQuest, the average MapQuest user.
Yeah. The Google reviews sort of have 2 categories to me. A lot of people that, on Yelp, they like reviews. It's like a review enjoyers review website.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of variety. People like reviews for different reasons. It's a cornucopia. It's very It's very diverse on Yelp. I like that. On Google, you got 2 types of reviews. You have someone who really likes this establishment and did them a solid by leaving them a Google review. And, you know, I think those are worthy reviews. Even they're not unbiased, but I don't think they're invalid. And then there's just Karens trying to get their way by throwing a fit on the internet.
Or so that they can at least tell their friends. I left a review.
Oh, you see that review I left?
I was so steamed. I left their eyes are like wide open when they're saying this over a glass of Chardonnay. I left a review.
I left a review.
I never leave a review.
It got 3 helpfuls within the first 12 days. So a lot of people are really thanking me for this one.
Yeah, I don't say.
Yeah, it's just we've talked to your type before, Karen, and you're not special. I'm so glad that someone said no to you, because you would be such a better person if people said no to you in your life more often.
Also, dang, bringing your own coffee into
so
no. I would feel uncomfortable if I brought like a bottle of water, a reusable bottle of water, and pop that up on the breakfast table. But to bring coffee from Starbucks, I am sure, and throw that sucker on the table. No, I'm not going to have any. No coffee here, thanks. You can take that attitude right outside.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, it's such a simple, easy to ask question in my mind that I think, you know, I'm not even consciously asking. It just is. It's like, well, if you were this business owner, well, if you worked here, how would you feel about that? You know, if you owned the Icky Biscuit, that's the Nasty Icky Biscuit, and someone was coming in with outside food, you would probably say, don't have that. If they were asking for off-menu items, you would probably say, we don't do that. But they can't, you know, that is the furthest thing from their mind. They can't even imagine. I think that's what it means to be a Karen. You can't take 10 seconds to be like, well, if I was this person, maybe I would feel this way. That is,
if I was someone other than myself, would myself is the most important?
Right.
No.
K is right at the center of the alphabet, isn't it? Just like the rest of the universe.
Do you have a review?
Yeah, I have some that are kind of in the same genre of this, so let's pile them on. I have 3 separate reviews for the same Toppers pizza restaurant in De Pere, Wisconsin. Toppers, for those non-Midwesterners out there, it's just a pizza chain. You know, sort of a semi-local pizza-y chain in the Midwest. It's good.
It's good.
It was pretty ubiquitous down in Keno when we went to Carthage College. I'm sure you had your fair share.
Yes.
Their thing is kind of the specialty pizzas, right? They got all kinds of different specialties.
Fancy. Ooh, there's chicken nuggets on this or something.
Yeah. Oh, buffalo chicken nugget mac explosion.
Yes.
The hangover butt fucker. Not quite that extreme, but it's the same sort of vibe. Oh, this one's got tuna and beluga on it. It's the catch of the day special. I'm just going to read these in no particular order. Terry is going to start us out. Ordered last night, the night before Thanksgiving. Yes, I understand that they were probably busy, but that does not mean that they could not give me a courtesy call to let me know that my food was not going to be able to be delivered. I ordered online at 4 p.m. Checked the online tracker around 4:15, where it said everything was being double checked. Waited a bit longer, checked again around 4:45, and the tracker said it was delivered. It was not in my hands. I called the store, to which I was informed. Yes, that's what she says. I called the store, to which I was informed that the Deal Dash delivery driver was unable to deliver my food, so they were waiting for another driver. I asked how long and was told that it would be another 20 minutes before I got my food, and that they would, by that time, be cold and nasty. They did not offer to remake the food and deliver or ask if I would like to pick up. I canceled my order and bought frozen pizzas. A little common courtesy would have been nice. 1 star.
Oh my goodness. What do you...
There's a few reasons I know of that DoorDash drivers would cancel picking up an order.
It's too far, right?
There's one very special one that's in the control of that's in Terry's hands, she might say. That is whether or not they left a certain something.
A tip.
A nice little tip.
I can't imagine. A little bonus at the end of that delivery trail.
Right. I can't imagine if Terry, set a nice tip up for this DoorDash driver to pick up this toppers for her using their vehicle and their gas. If they had left a nice tip, no way a DoorDash driver is canceling the order. If they had left any reasonable tip, there's no way. Sans emergency that a DoorDash driver is canceling that beat. So that's, I don't think we need to say more than that about that. That's just evidence A, all right?
Yeah.
About this, the telling of this situation.
I don't know, every family's their own different way.
Yeah.
Particularly around the holidays. I know, call me blessed. I have a great family. We all like each other. We're all together on Thanksgiving and such and such. And we got meals planned out.
Sure.
We got the night before Thanksgiving planned out. We got Thanksgiving morning, evening planned out. Probably through the weekend, we have ideas of what we're going to be eating. And even if we didn't have things written down, committed from ink to paper of what we were going to be eating, I can't for the life of me think there'd be like a moment where I just pause and say, I'm going to order a pizza. Feels like I got some downtime right now. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. You got to make sure everything's in the right place.
I think the idea behind people's motivation on ordering out before or after a big holiday, right, is, well, there's so much cooking tomorrow that I'm already doing that shit today.
Don't do that work. Don't want to.
I'm not making a damn meal tonight when I've been working on that one frickin' meal for weeks now. I'm going to do myself a solid and order a pizza pie. And I think that's a reasonable notion to trace.
I won't knock it.
But that does not excuse throwing a baby fit when a little something went wrong with your itty-bitty widow pizza. It's just a widow pizza.
It's not life or death.
It's not life or death. It's just some pepperonis on some dough. Some tomato sauce.
So offended.
Yeah, so something went wrong. Something in this universe went wrong. There was a human element to the order, and they screwed it up. And I'm sure by policy, because it was a DoorDash order, Topper's hands is tied. That's the risk you take when you use a third-party delivery service.
Yep.
Maybe this Toppers is DoorDash only, right? Was at the time because they had some issues with staffing. But I can almost guarantee you could have ordered directly from them and it would have been 100% more reliable.
Yeah, for sure. You're trying to use some coupon or something.
Right. Yeah. And I know people that work at pizza restaurants. I was told, I've got a source that when looking at their little machine that is printing out rapid receipts of pizza orders at a pizza kitchen, they're going to prioritize the ones coming from their machine where they get the full profit from the pizza, not the ones printing out with a third-party delivery where they're not getting the full payment. It's just not how it goes.
I can't fault them for that.
No, I do the same. Hey, I got a pile of pizzas I got to make right here that we're making lots of money off of. I got a pile of pizzas over here for a bunch of Karens that don't know how to type in toppers.com into their browser. But yeah, enough about Terry. She doesn't need any more spotlight than I've given her. I apologize to everyone. Terry, get out of here. I've got one. It's a lot shorter from Adam Sullivan. Everything sounds amazing.
Yes.
Everything sounds amazing.
Oh.
It was some of the worst food I've had from a pizza place. The macaroni was just buttered noodles with cheese on top. The breadsticks, pizza, and cheese curd were bland AF and cold. 1 star.
Bland AF. Excuse me, chef. This is bland AF, dog.
Bro, excuse, no disrespect, but I'm about to diss you, my guy. This cheese curd, bland AF. This curded cheese, my brother, bland AF. And cold. And I ain't talking cold. Pizza chef. One thing that made this review made me think is, what does he think mac and cheese is?
Yeah. This mac and cheese is noodles with cheese on top. Sometimes use some elbow grease, dude. Mix that stuff up.
This mac and cheese is noodles and cheese. What the fuck?
Give yourself the satisfaction of hearing it just mixing in.
And it makes me really worried about Adam, that he thinks at chain restaurants that everything is gourmet. That
From scratch.
Right.
Sure.
You don't think that every pizza restaurant that has pasta on their menu isn't just pinching ingredients from the pizza pile?
Hey, man.
They're just putting pizza cheese and heating it up, and then you know, oh wow. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that the delusions. What do they picture an American pizza kitchen like? We'll finish us out quickly here. After 2 days on the toilet, I'll never go back again. Got my vegetarian pizza and chocolate bread things, and everything tasted fine and good. But at almost 4 a.m, I knew something was wrong. Woke up out of a sleep, and I'll spare you the rest. 1 star.
Give me the rest. Come on.
He kind of gave us the rest
you
before he didn't give us the rest.
Teased it.
You say 2 days on the toilet. I don't think you're crocheting, my brother.
Yeah, I don't think you're telling the truth much either. No way you ate 2 days worth of vegetarian pizza and chocolate bread to then spend 2 days on the toilet with.
Sure.
Maybe you just had a stomach bug.
It may be. There was the worst I ever had food poisoning. I later looked up and found out there was a lettuce recall. So I didn't really hold it against the restaurant too much. Yeah. You know, they got the lettuce. They served the lettuce. 2 days later, there's a recall. That's on the distribution center. I go there all the time. I wasn't worried about it. But I did feel attached to a toilet for about 12 hours.
Okay, so 12 hours, I think, that's enough time for you to clean yourself out, and then maybe you lie on your side for the next 12 hours. But you're not spending 2 days. You're not spending 2 days.
No.
There ain't that much in you.
And I understand, they're saying 2 days. They weren't on the toilet for 48 hours. I understand. Okay. Just like I wasn't on it for 12. I got off, then had to poop again, and then got back on. What was really wild about it to me is I felt like in the morning, let's say I had the biggest session I felt like I ever had in my life. Oh. You know what I mean? It was it was insane. The amounts of, I felt like a Venom symbiote comic or something. Okay. And then I thought I was done, and then an hour later, it was the exact same thing. But this is all to say, you weren't on the toilet for 2 days, bro. You were good. I've had food poisoning. I've seen it. No vegetarian pizza, unless it was covered with fungus to the point where, because if you're on that's dysentery at that point, isn't it? He would have just died. Yeah. You'd be messed up. I mean, unless he's got like a keg of Gatorade next to the toilet and he's sort of out with the bad and with the good. IV situation. Okay. That's enough. Let's go to break.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of the episode, and welcome to Oh no! When owners attack. That's right.
It's one of those days, huh?
We already had some of that, but we're going to get a bit more of that. I have some Google reviews for an establishment called Atlantis Gentlemen's Club. It's a strip club.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we're back there too. Back in the dirty, seedy places. When owners attack, if you don't know what that means, it's when people leave Google reviews like Dimple did earlier, and the owners are like, "You've attacked my life and soul. Let me say something back at you."
And sometimes the owner's crazy. Sometimes the customer's crazy. You know, that's the fun of it. Let's see. Let's take sides. Let's join the battle.
Roll the dice. This is a review from Eugenio Besnuik. Eugenio writes, "It is closed. 1 star." This was left 2 years ago. Response from owner: "How are you going to leave a bad review for us being closed down by the governor of Illinois?" Which, to put myself in 2020 or 2021, whenever this review is from, I mean, I don't know about you. I feel like I know about you and yeah. Most people taking the pandemic seriously. I can at least speak for myself when I thought, I do want to get out of the house. Where am I going to go? Strip club was not the choice.
I mean, does the gas mask stay on?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be a little concerned about things going to a strip club in the best of times during a pandemic. I don't know.
The girl walks out on stage. Oh, I love the way she's swinging that oxygen tube around.
Oh
my God! She flung her mask off the stage, and I caught it.
I am so sorry. I just reshuffled the order of these reviews. I had no idea. I didn't even realize. I've got a review from 3 years ago. The account appears to be different because it's just a letter, but it's a different color letter. Sure. But it's again a Google review from Eugenio Besnuik. And this time Eugenio writes, "So stupid. To not let in 10 people on a very slow day because one of us do not want to tie his laces at the front door. Nobody was inside. Smiley face. 1 star."
Okay, so it's a gentleman's club. There is a dress code, I'm guessing is the full story.
Response from owner: "So sorry that happened to you. Unfortunately, untied shoelaces are a safety hazard for both patrons and entertainers."
Well, this is a hustle and bustling place.
Ladies got to be on like 10-inch heels walking around there.
Yeah, true.
I don't want
with drinks.
With drinks, yes. Flaming shots and such. You've got your laces out on your Air Force Ones or something. Yeah, you end up with a face full of fire.
All that aside, what gets me is I walk into an establishment. Let's say I have an untied shoe style going on. I'm aware, where you kind of undertie it and it makes it look like it's untied, but it's sort of a slip-on status, right?
Yes.
I've rocked something like that before. But if I went to an establishment and a bouncer was like, "Hey man, you got to tie your shoes," I'd be like, "Sure man, let me tie my shoes."
Yeah. That is not a big ask.
It's the smallest ask.
Maybe they didn't know how.
Can you tie them for me? Bubba, can you tie them for me? Guy named Brick. Brick, can you tie my shoes, man? I don't know how. I want to see the boobies.
Here's a review from Brad McKay. Brad writes, treat employees horrible and with no respect. 1 star. Response from owner, I'm sorry, I don't believe you have ever worked here. If you would like to apply, please come in with a resume.
That's actually funny.
Yeah, I gather that Brad was probably talking about, like, Brad is siding with employees. He saw some bad treatment, not, but maybe this establishment has received reviews from previous employees being like, oh, this place, these girls are awful.
I think it's a classic misdirection from the owner here.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hey, bud, you ever work here? No? Well, it sounds like you want to. Sounds like you know quite a bit about what's going on here.
How it should be run, huh? Come on in.
Don't get me wrong. If employees are mistreated here, not down with it.
Not cool.
Not cool. But if it is in fact Brad just talking shit, that is some of the funniest.
Yeah. At the very least, we know that this place shut down for the pandemic and cares enough to check shoelaces at the door.
Sure. That's big.
There's a lot of places they don't even bother to check shoelaces.
And, there's not a lot of armor against the ground when you're an employee there that trips.
No.
That is skin on cement. That is nipple to cement contact. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that.
Just stop saying it. I have a review from Gunjan Shah. Gunjan writes, never go here on weekends or before 9 p.m. 2 stars. And the owner responds, and don't feed us after midnight? What makes that even better is that the review was a year ago. The response was a month ago. So they got some new kid, I bet, who's just like,
oh, yeah.
Well, maybe not. Because you can say what you say, but
I was just thinking, it does highlight that the sort of rule, like, incantation nature of that review. Like, don't do this, okay?
Right. Yeah, pointing out the weirdness. Taking our job away, honestly.
True.
Here's a review from ZZ. They write, never been here, but every time I drive by, I see the yellow Isuzu V-Cross with the Tonka badge on the back. Assuming it's an employee's. If you ever want to sell, message me. 5 stars.
That rule.
The response from the owner, his name is John, and the Rona hit hard. Now's your chance.
I feel like we're just texting with the boys at this point.
I know. This is great. And what I think is the best for last. Here's a review from Matt Stetzel. Matt writes, by far worst bartender I've ever had. Her name is Cece. Extremely rude and act like she was way better than everyone. Took literally 10 minutes to acknowledge anyone's existence while she talked to the bouncer. Other bartender had to call her up. I asked for a simple Coke and rum, and she said, that's a $100 surcharge because it's almost 4 a.m. They close at 6 a.m. on Friday, BTW. Unbelievable. I've never been treated so rudely in all my life. Would give negative stars if possible. Beware. 1 star. Response from owner.
I was waiting.
We fired her because of your review. Thank you so much. Now she's homeless.
And the owner understands. This owner understands something that a lot of owners don't understand. You can just lie on the internet. You can just lie on the internet, and it's not a big deal. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, there's some big ones you can't tell. There's some capital B, capital O, big lies you can't tell on the internet.
Sure.
But this shit that's none of this person's business, you can lie about it.
Go for it.
Funny too.
It's the Wild West. So that's Atlanta's Gentlemen's Club. I think, we side with the owner today.
Seems pretty cool.
Which feels good.
Feels good. We needed that. We needed that after the earlier reviews.
Yeah. Ooh.
I have a Karen-free review to totally transition us
Good.
out of that space. This is a review from Amazon for the Greenworks 40-volt 12-inch chainsaw. 20
Nice.
amp battery and charger included. Generation 2. It's a little green chainsaw.
Battery powered.
Battery powered. Very portable.
Okay.
The I thought it was a last name at a glance. I am now realizing that this reviewer's name is all one word. Fear no fish Bob.
Okay.
I was like, oh, fear no fish. What? Oh,
Nope.
no fish. They write exactly what I needed to process small kindling. I use a lot of small starter wood during the winter, and it was a job to drag out my big saw to cut the small wood. This saw is lightweight, battery charges quickly. The oil reservoir has a large opening with a cap that operates like my old big still. Couldn't be happier. I'm gonna give it a good workout tomorrow. If something comes up that is not as it should be, I will edit this review. Had an opportunity to run this saw again, and I'm even more pleased with it. I'll keep updating as I use it more. Highly recommended. 5 stars.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, I trust him too.
You can't. This man fears no fish.
There's no fish.
And writes a helpful review.
He's name dropping the steel, gas powered chainsaw and saying this sucker works pretty darn good. He's a man who knows.
He's a man who knows his way around a saw. This man, you know, he's a bit of a saw hobbyist. He takes great joy in giving a saw a quote workout.
I was almost going to be terrified that he was going to process deer with it. But kindling was the word that was uttered. And I breathed a sigh of relief.
You thought I was gonna continue the trend and have some wicked gore going on in this chainsaw review. Now, I don't think this one would cut it. Pun unintended, but welcome. But welcome. No, I have immense respect for this man and how he writes a review. He's a fan of this product, and he wants everyone else to have the same joy working some kindling, being outside, cutting small twigs in half without the worry of an extension cord or some smelly gasoline.
Mm-hmm. And updating the review, we must believe. I believe that is great. A reviewsmanship.
Yeah, he's dedicated to the craft. You know, I understand now that he fears no fish because the fish fear him. All right? This man knows his way around a fishing pole half as good as he knows his way around a saw. It's a massacre out there on the river, dude.
They're doomed.
Fish being torn away from their families by the gill. It's like a UFO abduction scene from War of the Worlds when Fear No Fish Bob rolls in the river. Do you have a review?
I do. I'm sorry. I'm going to drag us right back to the muck.
It is what it is.
It might have a different flavor to it, though. I'm back in St. Charles, and I'm back at a breakfast restaurant, though. It's a Google review for Ihop, St. Charles. I started looking through the reviews because this one is in 24 hours, and I'm aghast at that. Anyway, Maricruz Lagos writes, bad service and worst food. I went with my husband and 2-year-old daughter on Friday, 10/12/2018. There was only one person taking care of customers, and there was a busboy, but he totally looked lost. They never offered a high chair, and the waitress took forever to bring what I asked for. And it's because you can't do everything at the same time. Of course he was busy doing something else Of course, he was so busy doing something else to come and check on us, so there was really bad customer service. The highlight of it was that food was nasty. I ordered potato soup, and it looked like puke, seriously. I had been in other IHOP locations and never seen something like that. My omelet was dry. I can seriously tell that the food was old and reheated on the microwave. The chicken noodle soup was way too salty, and it looked so old, it had bubbles on the top. I don't know, it just not looked right. My baby, who loves chicken noodle soup, didn't even like it. When it was the time to pay, their register broke up, so there was another wait. And I told the server or waitress or whatever position he had that he had a bad management to let him be alone on a Friday night, and he replied to me that he was the manager. What a shame, never going back. Vice? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Vice. Worst. 1 star.
Man, I'm seeing whole new doors of reality today.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a 24-hour IHOP having staffing issues? I can't. I can't.
Totally can.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course it's hit or miss.
Especially these days.
Yeah,
I think what I actually like the most, which is probably the saddest part, at least the way I'm imagining it, is it's that angry customer, let me talk to the manager moment. This was so bad, let me talk to the manager. And you don't have the opportunity to defiantly say, I am the manager. You just have to kind of sheepishly say, well, that's me.
Right. There was no conviction. There wasn't the usual conviction.
Because even if she's upset, she's like, there's no way 2 people can run this place on their own. This is awful. Your manager should know better. You're like, well, no, that is me.
One of the worst restaurant experiences that I've had in my life was at a place called Friendly's in Sandusky, Ohio.
Uh-huh.
I believe, which is a chain in those parts.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like a TGI Fridays type vibe in there. And upon walking in, it was obvious staffing was the least of their worries, or the first of their many worries.
Paramount.
Yeah, it's, you're waiting to put your order in, and the manager's bouncing from table to table and promising, apologizing and promising to pay half the bill at each one. It's going to be a wild night.
Okay.
But I look back on it very fondly as an experience. You know what I mean?
They are human beings.
Mm.
They can only control what they can control.
Right. Yeah, it was obvious that there were some issues going on out of their hands. And we went and got some pizza afterwards. We, instead of yelling at anyone there, we said, thank you very much. Went and got some pizza. You know what I mean? Our life, my family's life, moved on in that vacation. We had much bigger things to worry about, like having fun together, than, some people having a bad time at a restaurant.
Yeah. Although I guess credit to the reviewer. If you have a bad experience, if your soup is gross, looks like puke, and then you're like, at least we got the check and we're going to get out of here.
Right.
And then the cash register doesn't work. For the love of God.
Yeah.
Why can't I leave?
That is is the universe against me right now moment.
This is the day I don't have cash on me to just chuck it down and walk out.
But they'll remember that IHOP forever. I've had so many middling restaurant experiences at places I'll never remember. Waitresses' faces I don't care to think back upon. Not that I would be sick or something. I just am indifferent.
Right.
But I'll always remember Friendly's in Sandusky, Ohio. I'll always remember that poor college kid manager just trying his best to keep people from strangling his staff. So yeah. And you know what? I'll always remember reviewparty.com because
Me too.
I do it every week, and it's it's kind of a routine at this point. Thank you for listening, listener. We got new episodes of this every Tuesday. #Tuesday Reviews Day. If If you'd like to send us a funny review, with Karen, without Karen, we take them all. Send it to reviewparty.com at gmail.com with your name so we can throw you some credit, amigo.
If you want to reach out to us on the social media, do it. I dare ya.
Do it, bro.
Double dare ya. You can find us at reviewparty.com on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there. There's lots of cool things and funny funs to view and share with your friends and kin. The same deal over on Twitter at reviewpartypod. Lots of things. If you're not necessarily maybe in the sharing mood, go to reviewparty.com. You can share things from there. Like just copy the link of your favorite blog post and send it to your significant other. Send it to your enemy. We don't care which. But there's a lot of content there, not just the blog, but all the episodes, every listening platform. If you want to switch it up, you're like Pocket Cast isn't doing it for me anymore. Hey guys, what's up? If you're using Pocket Cast, maybe you want to try Pod Knife, or there's some bizarre Pod Monster. Like the logo is a little monster face. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Oh, yeah, why wouldn't you want to give Pod Monster a shot?
Just go reviewparty.com or else.
Me now, Nosebleeds, Great Bunch of Dudes. Let us use their song "Bread for Breakfast." That's our theme song. You heard it throughout the episode. If you want to listen to the full version of said Bread for Breakfast jam, or hear some other great tunes by them, go ahead and look them up on Spotify. Just type in Nosebleeds, one word. I have a finisher today. I think this one is a fine bookend to the adventure we had today. It is from Amazon.com. Ring Pop individually wrapped bulk lollipop variety party pack. 20 count lollipop suckers with assorted flavors, fun candy for birthdays and celebrations. It's a bunch of Ring Pops. An Amazon reviewer named Happy Customer titles their review, "Good Service." They write, "Product, not great. 3 stars."
I don't have words.